And we'll continue our talks this afternoon with welcoming Charlotte Hall, our General Manager of Investment. Charlotte, among many things and tasks at GSWA, oversees the Exploration Incentive Scheme. And without this scheme, there are a number of discoveries in science, both today and over the last few years, that will not have been made. So it's a very important program that we have going on. And under her leadership, the scheme continues to deliver exceptional results. And Charlotte will be taking us through some of those exceptional results and where things are going. So take it away, Charlotte.
Good afternoon, everyone. Under the EIS program, $1 to $3 million is allocated each year to undertake significant geophysical projects across the state. In the recent past, this has included 3 active reflective seismic lines and airborne EM. The GSWA is currently conducting airborne magnetics, radiometric surveys in 2 areas of the state. The first program covers the Aileron, known by some of you as the West Arunta, and the second program includes the Narryer Terrane and parts of the Gascoyne Province. Both surveys are at 100-metre line spacing and are designed to coincide with GSWA fieldwork in regions of new exploration, especially for critical minerals. The Aileron project started in August this year and is still in the data acquisition phase. The project has been managed by the GSWA, with the tender awarded to 2 companies. Excalibur is flying the western section, while MagSpec is flying the slightly larger eastern section. Both companies have 2 planes flying, and on current rates are expected to finish this December. This acquisition corresponds to the fieldwork as outlined in talks previously today. The Narryer Terrane is funded by the EIS and is project managed by Geoscience Australia, and we thank them for that. The survey has excluded a 50-kilometre diameter region over the Murchison Radio Astronomy Observatory and has been divided into 3 zones. The 2 southern zones are now fully completed, with the final data released today. The data can be found on the GSWA Magix and GSWA platforms under the registration number shown on the slide. Flying across the northern zone was completed last week and is anticipated that the final data will be released in early 2026. Now, switching to the co-funding changes, there are 3 topics that will be presented here and are shown on the list. For all co-funding projects, we are now striving to provide you with a larger window for the data acquisition. Previously, it was a restricted 12 months in which the drilling, geophysics, or the energy analysis was to be done. In the example shown here, following the Minister's announcement in April, the month of May was when the fully executed agreement was to be returned, and projects could only start on the 1st of June, going through to 31 May the following year. We are now allowing companies to start earlier if they sign the agreement and DMPE has acknowledged that the agreement is fully executed. This was successfully trialled in the last co-funding round, round 32, with an additional 6 weeks provided, and at the beginning was taken up by at least 1 successful applicant. We may not always have this extra time of 6 weeks. Much will depend on the number of applications and completion of assessments, but we will work to providing at least 4 weeks extra time at the beginning of your co-funding. The end of the acquisition period will remain a firm date for completion. There will always be companies like Oliver Twist saying, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" However, I will not be able to manage the unpredictable budget across financial years. Moving to the topic of downhole surveys. The second change relates to the co-funded drilling and is the introduction of downhole surveys. As depicted in the slide, there is currently a letter of offer to successful applicants for 50% of the direct drilling costs. And on top of that, if diamond drilling is done, a core tray refund. From the upcoming co-funded drilling round 33, downhole surveys will be permissible. The option to allow for downhole surveys was prioritised over support for assay costs. This decision reflects the fact that companies planning drilling programs typically allocate budgets for assays. However, they do not often budget for downhole surveys. despite the fact that such surveys can significantly accelerate the location of mineral deposits, particularly when modelled geophysical anomalies are missed during drilling. Because the downhole surveys are an additional cost and it's unclear how many will take this up, the types of surveys offered will be limited to help manage the EIS budget. The first of these is fixed loop electromagnetics. Second, downhole petrophysics such as density, gamma or velocity readings. And the third is downhole electromagnetics, specifically conductivity and chargeability. The survey will only be eligible for a refund if the survey is conducted, data is acquired and submitted. There is a capped value of $25,000 and the survey must be done by a service provider that can provide an invoice. If the MOB, DMOB and acquisition cost you $25,000, then all other costs above this are at the company's expense. Equally, if the costs are below 25,000K, we will refund that lower cost. Surveys will not be limited to the category of the application nor the drill hole type. However, any refund is only for EIS drilled holes in the concurrent drilling round. It will not be retrospective. Survey results, data and interpretation must be submitted as part of the final WAMIX drilling report. Guidelines on the EIS webpage provide more details on what is to be submitted and in what format. The cost of materials such as PVC piping to maintain hole integrity can be included in the refund claim. But if more than one survey type is to be undertaken, and you can do that, companies should carefully consider the order in which they are executed. Some petrophysics techniques requiring no impediment between the probe and the hole wall, while others may require the hole to be filled with fluid. The downhole survey can be conducted at any time during the drilling window. Recognising that some companies may be drilling right up to the close of the drilling window, we will allow an additional 2 months for the survey time. If we were to use the upcoming round of round 33 as an example, drilling must be completed by 31 May 2027. But the downhole survey could be completed in June or July, allowing for the data and interpretation to be added to the final WAMIX report in August. And the final topic is geophysics co-funding. For Ventures 1 and 2, we had a limited amount of funds and we had to limit the regions from which we could get applications. In the upcoming Venture 3 application process for February 2026, it was previously advertised that the southern half of Western Australia would be open for applications. This will not be the case due to the 2025 Labor Party commitment. A pot of money for the geophysics has been increased by $1.5 million. This will enable us to receive applications from across the whole of the state in the upcoming round. And that is it. Thank you very much for listening.